welcome to episode 3 of Fade the Noise. This is a podcast about sports betting information, bold predictions, and unique insight, and is sponsored by Moneyline Hacks. At the end of each episode, we will do the Lock It In segment where our experts will give you their favorite picks for the upcoming games. I'm your host, Eric, and I'm really excited to get into today's lineup. We have a lot to talk about, and first up, I'm going to introduce the group we have. Number one, we've got Joe. He is the CEO of Moneyline Hacks, longtime sports bettor, and general sporting enthusiast who has a lot of very good takes. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Just, it's Friday, so I'm doing good. End of the week, getting ready to watch our big UFC 316 pay-per-view tomorrow. Going to be a lot of great fights, but, I'll let you get into that in a bit.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right. And next up, we have got Angel Perez. He is an avid fantasy enthusiast who covers a wide range of sports and has an almost ridiculous amount of knowledge in each of them. And how are you doing, Angel?
Doing fantastic. Another day in paradise. Excited to watch some sports and bet on sports.
Yes, sir. And going to go ahead and compliment the Cowboys shirt there because
Appreciate it.
I'm a fan as well. And
Mm.
this is the year. I'm just
Hey,
kidding. Can't say that every year.
it's got to work one time.
And last up, we've got Aaron. Aaron is a community capper in the Moneyline Hacks Discord and has been dropping a lot of plays both for VIP and in the free group. And he's a general expert when it comes to college, NFL football, MLB, dabbles in some basketball as well. And we're glad to have him on the show. How are you doing, Aaron?
Live, man. No, even though when yesterday's a little rough, you just want to look at something positive. So we're just gonna talk about today, right?
Yes, sir. I think we have all been there, part of the life. Okay, so first up today, as it's Friday, and we've got a big UFC card, and also not just a card, but a pay-per-view. UFC 316 is tomorrow. We've got Marab. I'm not gonna try and say his last name. Versus Sugar Sean. They're headlining the card, and we're going to go to Joe and see what he has to say about some of these fights and if he has any insights for you guys. Joe?
Let's go with this Marab Dwalishvili fight versus Sean O'Malley. Let's break this down first. First of all, you say it Dwalishvili, Eric, but not sure why that first V in his name is a pronounced W and that second V is a V. But we're moving on. Dwalishvili aims for his 13th consecutive UFC win. That dude wants to tie legends like Khabib Nurmagomedov, John Jones, and O'Malley seeks redemption after his unanimous decision loss at UFC 306. O'Malley feels like he didn't train well enough because of injuries leading into the fight. He feels like he couldn't get any wrestling practice in, which is what you need against Marab. There's actually footage of him showing that he couldn't do certain exercises leading to what would help him, against the cage and with Marab's wrestling. This time we're going to get a full answer if healthy Sean O'Malley could basically knock him out, because that's the chance he has. I don't see O'Malley winning a 5-round fight against him. I don't see him winning a decision. I see him getting that knockout, that early finish, round 1 or 2, 1 to 3 maybe. But yeah, if that doesn't happen, I think it's going to look like the same fight leading into the 4th and 5th rounds. I do think O'Malley will be a bit more fresh this time. Will have a better pace. I do think he's improved, and I do think he's taking it serious. This is the first time I haven't seen his hair dyed in about 4 or 5, 6 years before a fight. So, he looks like he's taking it serious. He got off social media, put down the ganja, and I see him doing good. Even after his defeat, he went on a 13-week training camp just to focus on grappling and his mental discipline. He even brought in Demetrius Johnson and Israel Adesanya to train. But yeah, this Marab, he just beat a Dagestanian and Umar Nurmagomedov. He's about as good of a champion as you could have. So for this fight, I would say we'll have a best bet for this fight. Just stay tuned in. We'll have our best lock it in segment where our best bets are on display at the end of the show, and I'll give you one for this fight.
Can't wait.
All right, I'll go ahead and move on to the co-main event. This one I'm real excited for. I see massive, massive, massive betting potential on this one. Let me just give you a little bit of backstory. One of our first big wins in the Moneyline Hacks community for UFC was Juliana Pena to beat Amanda Nunes the first time. She was plus 600, and we got in at a unit on that. So people walked home with 6 units off that win, and I could see this happening again against Kayla Harrison. She's already beat Juliana Pena has already beat the greatest of all time in Amanda Nunes. And what makes people think she can't beat Kayla Harrison? Kayla Harrison is very formidable. She's very scary with the eye test, but she's lost before. She's been tested before. I think her last fight went to decision. She's been into a decision in the UFC with someone that's not on the level of Pena yet, and she's lost a decision to Larissa Pacheco in the PFL. So that wasn't even the UFC. She came into the UFC off a loss to Larissa Pacheco. And while they went back and forth, and I think they each might have a win over each other, I think Pacheco has 2 wins to her 1, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think there's huge betting potential in Juliana Pena as the plus 525 underdog. And I'm just going to tell you guys, if you're listening to the podcast, this is a free VIP pick, and it's going to be a big pick for us. So that's the side we're riding with Juliana Pena. Yeah. She's a dog. She's a fighter. Harrison may have dominant grappling and a great record, 2-time Olympic judo gold medalist, but this is MMA.
She's good.
And I think Pena is still a little better in MMA.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And before I throw it to the group, I have a couple questions for you. So, first, do you think when Merab fought Sugar the first time, how much of that loss in performance would you actually attribute to his injury versus just being in, he's known for striking, and you have a guy coming in who is a world-class wrestler and grappler, was it not being prepared? Was it because of the injury or both? Or do you just think, it's something that happened, he has to learn from it and get better?
You're talking Sean O'Malley, right? The
Yes, sir.
last fight. Yeah, I think it's more Merab just has a crazy pace, crazy cardio, world-class level grappling, wrestling, but just doesn't have world-class finishes. That's the one thing he's missing. He always goes a decision. Someone like that, you just have to beat. It's almost harder to game plan for someone like that could just win a decision and is that good. I mean, just knows how to win than someone that just, if they catch you, they'll knock you out. It's a little bit harder to game plan for someone who's so rounded. So I would say it's more of Merab's world-class dominance, but I do think there's still a level that O'Malley could reach, and we'll see if he's reached it this weekend.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And yeah, I'm hoping that the non-hair change and giving up the ganja has helped him focus a little bit. He had a rapid ascent in the UFC, and, not giving a take here, but it can lead to complacency. And I think this morning I read something about Merab saying that leg kick he did in the 5th round, like to his core, he was like, if that had happened another couple of times, I would have been in trouble. And so I think Sean's going to go in with a game plan, and I like the angle you've got. And my only other question is about Kayla Harrison. She looks terrifying. One man's opinion, I'm just saying, I saw a flex from the weigh-ins or from a previous weigh-in, and she's just built. And I think you're giving some history and backstory about her losses in previous organizations really help shed some light, because otherwise I would be terrified to bet against somebody that's like her. But really appreciate the insight.
Yeah, and
So,
she's gotten a lot better since those losses, but she's also facing a lot better competition, especially in Juliana Pena. She's handled it well in the UFC, but Pena's a dog. You can't say that about as many of the women fighters as you could about the male, but Juliana Pena is a dog. She literally just talked about how she fought a 6'3" dude in the alley at the beginning of her MMA career and lost and got dropped 3 times, but that's the key word. She got dropped 3 times. It's not something you want to see in real life, but she's a dog.
that is one sketchy story, but yeah, sounds like she is. Well, I'm going to be right there betting that with you. Angel, Aaron, do you guys have any thoughts on the upcoming UFC card? Any comments about Joe's picks? Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, after that last fight, Sean O'Malley he undergo hip surgery for a torn labrum. So I feel like that might have some effect in the second fight because he's fully healthy now. He probably couldn't do a lot of things that where he had to use his hip, you know? So I feel like he'll be able to defend them takedowns way better this time. And Sean O'Malley, we all know all it takes is one punch. So you give him one opening, it's done. But yeah, it's gonna be a very close fight. I'm looking at it like a 50-50 kind of fight. It could go any way. Rob, he's a tank, he's a machine, crazy gas tank. They said after he won his last fight, the day after he was out running. He just doesn't stop. There was talk in Sean O'Malley's camp that he had suffered a broken toe of some sort, but I don't know. Could be a rumor, could not. Something to look out for. But I don't see that stopping Marab. The adrenaline, I'm sure, will take over. But that's my thoughts for that fight. I got O'Malley, maybe round 3 knockout. I don't know. But as far as the Kayla Harrison fight, she's at minus 750 right now, which is like crazy odds. And I've seen a couple of her fights. I haven't seen too many of Pina's fights, but I know she's amazing. She's the champ for a reason. So it's going to be an all-out battle. But I'm taking rooting for Harrison on that one.
Yeah, can't blame you. Value sounds like it might be tough to find, but I know we're gonna find it in Moneyline Hacks Discord. So it's just about finding that one bet that
Right.
gets everything done, you know? Thank
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Angel.
No
Aaron,
problem.
you got something?
I mean, I'm kind of with everybody else on the O'Malley. I assume he's been working on his ground game and takedown defense, and we're gonna stand up and fight this time. That's the way it's gonna go, right? I mean, I assume, but I'm just excited to watch that fight. I don't really have much on that Pena fight. I'm a Harrison fan, a Pena fan. I just want to watch. So I'm excited to see that fight.
Oh, yeah.
And they
It'll be a
got
good
the
one.
Josh Van and Maderos. I was Markel Maderos. They're both from Texas, so I'll be excited to back them as well. I think Josh Van is like 700 minus 700 or something too already, but uh, I like both of them. Josh Van in Houston now. Maderos is from Dallas, so that's who I'm backing. I don't really have much on it, but I'm just excited to watch all these people.
I love how you mentioned Josh Van because you already know we're on Josh Van usually in our group. I'm not saying we're on him tomorrow, but I'm not saying I'm not saying, I'm just not saying. You have to tune into our community,
Man,
and we'll show you where we're at with that one. But he's won us so much money in the group.
yeah,
He has.
like that pretty tough loss recently. It's like I don't want to. I don't want to see him run into nobody's fists anymore. I want to see him almost win, but go the distance and pull it off.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the fights to keep an eye out for tomorrow is Bruno Silva versus Josh Van. It's going to be fireworks, and one person's about to handle business.
Yeah, Bruno's powerful, man. I'm excited. Glad it's Friday.
Cool. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Nothing wrong with just being a fan and wanting to watch a good fight at all. I completely support you. Sounds like we have some crazy lopsided fights tomorrow, odds wise anyway. And I can't wait to see what Joe comes up with because I need to make some money.
Update on that toe injury. It was his little pinky toe. It's no more black and blue, he says, but it's still a little fat. But he says he's good. So just a little update. Nah, he got 9 more toes. He's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that. Thanks for the update. Appreciate it. Cool. So we are good on the UFC card. Gonna tune in and make a lot of money tomorrow. Real quick, before we dive into the upcoming MLB slate, let's talk about what happened last night in the NBA Finals, because that was shocking. And
Crazy.
I, I'm really curious to hear what each of you have to say. I know we talked about it a little bit last night privately. It's more just so many things had to happen for that game to go that way. And I'm a little shocked. And so I wanted to get y'all's feedback and thoughts. And specifically, Angel, I remember you were talking about in our last show, the turnovers would be a deciding factor in the game. And what's crazy is I didn't watch it, full disclosure, but I looked at the box score and the Pacers had so many turnovers, but the points off of turnovers seemed like the killer there. And they just, they took advantage, and it's just I can't even believe they gave the ball up that many times. But you know,
Crazy.
all those people shooting that well, especially from three, I mean, Cinderella run, we're gonna see. So Angel, what do you think about last night's game?
Last night's game was crazy. Yeah, like I thought whoever had more turnovers were gonna lose, but if you can't capitalize points off those turnovers, then those turnovers are just free plays, I guess. So it was crazy. The 3-point shootout that went off for Indiana in the fourth quarter, that's all it takes. That's how they beat the Knicks in one of their games. Dude just went off from the 3-point line. And yeah, Jalen Williams in the last maybe minute, 38 seconds, he had a 3-pointer and he had a layup, but he missed both those shots. If he makes one of those, I don't think they'd have a chance to even have that game winning shot. But it was just so much defense. It was great, great like passing. There was no one that scored over 20 points for Indiana. Like usually someone's scoring big, you know? And yeah, it was insane. I had Thunder from the beginning, but if you can't close out in the end, they gave up a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter. You just can't do that. But yeah, Halliburton's known for his game winners. All he needs is a shot. He feels no pressure, I feel. He just shoots it and it goes
Right.
in. So
Right?
I'm very
Talk about
excited.
clutch.
Very excited for game two.
Yeah, it almost looked like, hero ball versus team ball, and I
Right.
can't even remember how many Pacers were in double digit points. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to see what happens. Maybe they'll learn
Yeah.
their lesson.
Gonna be a fun series.
Joe, Aaron, do either of you have anything to say about the game?
It's so lopsided for it to go Pacers' way. Like I was trying to pull everything. I didn't watch the whole game, but I know that OKC had plenty more shot attempts, plenty more turnovers to their advantage. I mean, like he was saying, nobody scored 20 points, but I think everybody on the Pacers team scored, contributed at least. I don't know. It's crazy, man. Like, not that I'm a big Chet fan, but he wasn't doing Chet things. And Dort, I'm a fan of him. But no, I mean, I was just watching it for fun for game one, trying to get a feel on it. Had a feeling kind of Pacers could maybe do something like that. And that's crazy. Halliburton is like, you can't mess with someone who's got an aura like that, man.
So good.
Yeah, that's
Not
totally
even
fair.
it's not even like the players too, which the players are all playing phenomenal. They're playing like, even though Halliburton's a superstar, they're still playing team ball. We had five
Yeah.
people under in double digit points yesterday and all under 20. So that just shows it's spread evenly. And then, Halliburton just so clutch. He's showing now this postseason. And, but on top of the players, it extends to the coach. How about the coach's situational game planning and coaching? It's just like they plan for this. I think I heard a quote saying that they were gonna expect to play from behind. Not sure if this is how they're going to do it the whole series, but this first game they're expecting to play behind, and they're going to try to inch towards victory in the second half and put the pressure on, and then put themselves in position and give Halliburton his shot, which they did. They did perfectly. So Rick Carlisle, the coach of the Pacers, is I think they're all firing on all cylinders, and that just may be the difference. We were very high on OKC, I feel like, as a nation, and some of that's come down a bit. So we have ourselves a finals, ladies and gents.
And
Yeah, you
also
heard. Sorry, go
one
ahead.
last thing is the amount of like, well, one, people back in the OKC and like Pacers, the whole lineup changed before the game. It just threw everything off, and they just targeted small players. Let's score on them, and we don't have Hartenstein anyways, so, or Pacers, they don't have Hartenstein, so we're gonna just attack them and attack them and attack them, and it's like, fuck turnovers, dude. Attack them again. I mean, and it worked. It's like, man, that's crazy. I was reading something last night that Pascal went whenever Jalen Williams was guarding him, he was like over three. And I'll find it. After the lineup change, targeting smaller players, Siakam went 3 for 4 against Wallace, 1 for 3 versus Caruso, 2 for 2 versus SGA. So I mean, they just opened up so much for him, and all they got to do is switch back when OKC adjusts otherwise. So it makes for a fun series, knowing that the whole world's on OKC.
Yeah, definitely adjust the odds with that many people being on one side. And also, just game one's usually a feel out game, I think. And we'll see. There's going to be a lot of adjustments. To Joe's point, coaches have to show up. Like, this is their time to do the right thing, analyze the matchups on a player level, and also be adaptable in the middle of a game. I mean, I love Jason Kidd, but I don't know how you could be happy about dropping Rick Carlisle if you're on the Mavericks. So not important. Thank you for all of your input on that game. I'm excited for game 2. We're going to see what happens, and I'm betting we're going to see a lot of changes compared to game 1 at the game planning level. So now we're going to dive into the MLB slate. We've got 3 great matchups to go for, and we are going to kick things off with Braves Giants. I'm going to go clockwise for me. So, Aaron, what do you have to say about this game?
So the D-backs first.
Oh, sorry,
Um,
Braves Giants.
Birdsong and Schwellenbach. That's what I got. I think both of them are kind of taxed in the bullpen as well. So I mean, I don't hardly ever pull up all the pitchers' ERAs and look at all the stats as much as probably Angel will tell you pretty soon. But um, I know that Schwellenbach might be back, and he's been, I say, past 2 games, I think, in a row. He's been looking pretty good. And Birdsong, I'm not a Birdsong fan. I just seen this game, and I was like, hey, I want to take the first 5 under. I gotta look at the weather. I haven't looked at that. I think it's going to be a good series. Period. Um, it's another one of those game 1 things I'm not sure about. I want to see how long these pitchers go. I want to watch these bullpens today and see who's going to be fresh for tomorrow. I think who wins tomorrow can take the series the next day.
Okay. Yeah. Great take. Really appreciate it. Mr. Angel, what do you have to say about this matchup with Braves Giants?
Braves versus Giants. It's going to be a fun matchup. We got a primetime game tonight, 9:15. Uh, Spencer, how do you Schwellenbach? I don't even know how to say it. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. Trying to pull my notes up, and then the screen goes black, so you know how that goes. If you want to go to Joe and come back to me, my screen's all black.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah,
My
no problem.
bad.
No worries at all, man. Joe, what are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, so for the Braves versus Giants tomorrow, does look like Swallenbach is gonna be pitching. Spencer Swallenbach got that. That's a try to say that 3 times. Hayden versus Hayden Birdsong. Looks like, 2 rookies, 2 hot starts, a tale as old as time. Swellenbach, we've all been impressed with him, showing great poise, .96 whip. But the Giants have a hell of a bullpen on them. Their bullpen ranks #1 in ERA, and they've been lights out. If it's close late, I'd say I'd lean the Giants, especially. That'd be the strongest spot. If it's close and it's going in to like that 7th inning, I would lean the Giants for sure. The Braves are sliding. They've dropped 4 straight. They're averaging just 2.5 runs per game over that stretch. They're definitely cold right now. So I think this is an underdog alert. Giants are 19-11 at home, and this is a good spot to fade public money on a cold Braves team traveling west.
All about that value. Appreciate that. That's a very, very good point. Angel, you good to go?
Yeah, I do like Joey's take. Spencer Schwellenbach, is that what I heard? Yeah, 4-4 on the season, 3.13 ERA. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Joey. He's kind of had a pretty good 2 last games. I think he's due for some regression. He's had 11 strikeouts in his last 2 games. I don't think that's gonna happen today. So it's gonna be a good game. Hidden Birdsong, 3-1, 2.37 ERA. I just feel like he has a better game today. Joey said the Braves are cold, and I think that Hayden's gonna have a solid outing. Maybe under 2 earned runs is my guess.
And I
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a sneaky under here. You know how I like my sneaky totals, and last time I gave out a sneaky total, it hit
Yeah,
with the Dodgers. So I think
yeah,
this might be a sneaky under on the game.
I like it.
The Braves just leave. I mean, the last time I said the Braves leave too many men on base, they brought in like 11 or 9 or something. Still, they've done it for like over a month. Everybody can get on base, and we can't bring you home. Come on, boys, back to the dugout. So I could get down behind that sneaky under.
Okay, great. Got that 3-way agreement. Nicely done. Cool. All right. Continuing on, Angel. Next up, we're going to talk about Diamondbacks Reds. I'm going to start with you. What are your thoughts?
Diamondbacks and Reds. We got Eduardo Rodriguez versus Nick Lodolo. Rodriguez is 1-3 this season, 7.05 ERA. He's just coming off the 15-day injured list. He had shoulder inflammation, so it's not looking like he might be pitching at his best. But he's going against the Reds, and they do got some pretty nice bats. He has given up 4 runs and 6 runs in his last 2 games. So I'm thinking he might give up a couple hits today. Reds might take advantage of him, but not too sure how that'll go. Nick Lodolo, 4-4 in the season. 3.10 ERA. I think he's the better pitcher in this game. He gave up 0 runs in his last game, 3 before that. So yeah, I think if he can strike a few more people out than Rodriguez, keep the hits low. But one fun fact is that they have Gabriel Moreno, the Diamondbacks, and he's on a 7-game hit streak. So it might be a little sneaky fun bet to place if you're into the hits at all. But yeah, I like the Reds today.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, sir. And we're going to go to Joe next. What do you have to say about Diamondbacks and Reds?
Diamondbacks and Reds. Got Eduardo Rodriguez with his 7 ERA versus Nick Lodolo with his 3 ERA. D-backs, they're back in beast mode. They scored 33 runs in the last 4 games. They're red hot. Rodriguez is coming off the injury list. He's been shelled. I mean, he had 13 earned runs. Opponents batting .3 against him. It's not good for him. On top of that, Lodolo dominates lefties and righties. He's a 1.1 whip and a high chase rate. So he's been quietly elite, I'd say. He's especially strong at home, and the park is high scoring park. It's the number 2 park for home runs this season, 25. So don't be shocked by a fireworks show tonight. What does all this scream? It screams the over, of course. Diamondbacks are smashing the ball right now. Rodriguez is a fade, and this park's a launching pad. Expect some lopsided, ugly, crooked numbers in that score tonight.
Okay, awesome. And real quick, before we go to Aaron, does anyone know what the number 1 park is then? If
It
they're
might
number
be
2
Great
for home runs?
American. But if it's not Great American, it's probably Cubs or I don't know. No, not number 1.
Okay.
That would have been number 1 to me.
You don't have to know. I was just
Baltimore,
curious if it
maybe?
was Coors Field.
Athletics. Athletics are playing at Baltimore at home. There's always runs there. I don't know what it is this year. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Wrigley Park.
Coors is always there.
And then the other question was to the group, because I'm not a baseball expert, but with Rodriguez just coming back off the injured list, do you guys think there's a chance that this ends up being like a bullpen game where he doesn't actually pitch for that many innings?
Yeah,
And
they just
actually, Aaron, sorry, go
my
ahead.
bad. They just lost Corbin Burns earlier in the week with the right elbow injury, so I feel like they maybe won't pitch that far. You know what I mean? Because the pitch count will be low, just because they probably can't afford to lose many more pitchers. So we'll see how that goes.
That's fair. Okay. Aaron, all you. If you have any thoughts on what I said, or if you just want to give your take on the game.
I was just looking at the bullpen. 1 setup man, 10 pitches. Kendall Grayman, 20. I mean, it might be, might not. Justin Martinez, their closer threw 37 pitches the day before yesterday. It could be, definitely, for sure. Some different pitchers in there. I was just looking at that. But yeah, him coming back from shoulder surgery and being on the road, like, what was it? Not good. I want to say over 7 ERA on the road this season, just period. He can be hit for sure. And I don't know about the Reds. I was looking at the Reds versus lefties, but I quit looking at it all, and I just started looking at the over because the D-backs over 12 WOBA versus left-hand pitchers, and Badolo, he might get some Ks, but they're hitting lefties well too, and him against lefties. It's just the whole like I didn't really see a under sign there. I played it at 9 over 9 last night. It's 9.5 today, but I still released it at 9.5 in the group because I feel like it's safe there. Yeah, one more thing, Ladolo, same thing with him. He can get hit by a few lefties, like I was saying, and I just like Corbin Carroll. What's his name? He was talking about the 7-game hit streak. There's a lot of snakes that can put the ball in play today.
Yeah,
Same thing with the Reds. I mean, I think it's just another one we're kind of all on the same side on, to be honest. This one seems way obvious, though, you know?
Good sign. And you beat CLV, which is always attractive.
Just Rodriguez alone, 5 hits, 9 hits, 5, 9, 6, 10, 6, 5, 3. I mean, that's Giants, Dodgers, Phillies, Mets, Braves. I mean, but still, the trend should continue if the snakes are going to be the snakes. I'm backing them today. I'm backing that over. I like it.
Cool. Thank you very much. And
Or
last
maybe I
up,
forgot, like maybe just team total. I don't know what side. I didn't have a side, but I'm a D-backs fan, so I thought about that team total. It was 4.5 when I looked, but I couldn't do it. That would have been my other option.
Okay, sweet. Last up, we're going to go Blue Jays Twins, and we are going to start with Mr. Moneyline Hacks. Joe, what are your thoughts?
All right, so for Blue Jays and the Twins, it's going to be Kevin Gausman on the mound versus Bailey Ober. Toronto's won 8 of their last 10, scoring 7.6 runs per game in that span. Barger and Boucher are heating up. Vladdy has 6 extra base hits in 5 games, and Ober's home edge fade. I mean, home edge is fading. He's historically been better at home, but 4.89 ERA, 10 home runs allowed this year. It's a little bit of a red flag for regression. So that's out of the picture this year. Gosman's trending up. He had a rocky April, but he posted a 2.87 ERA in his last 5 starts in May. So he has an uptick right now in whiffs and velocity. It's always a good sign. Both bullpens look like they're vulnerable. Neither pen ranks top 15 in ERA or whip. Late inning scoring is possible. I think that's a live betting opportunity. I think Gosman's just setting in. The Jays bats are rolling. Don't sleep on the Twins' power versus righties. This one will probably go back and forth. It's hard to find a hard angle, but I think if you're watching this game live, you could get some pretty good bets in tonight.
Great. Excellent points. Thank you very much. Aaron, what are your thoughts on Jays Twins?
Both pitchers, as probably you should, but I like Gossman more. I was looking at him and he's doing better, but he doesn't walk much lately. He's not walking people like almost ever. Um, the Twins, oh, he had 4 versus them last time, but lately he's not walking, and couldn't find anything else on him. And then I got distracted looking at Bailey Ober. His last 3 games versus the Blue Jays has 25 strikeouts, and it was like 8-7-6 or 8-7-8, whatever. Do the math. But I just got caught up looking at both the pitchers, man, and I think it's gonna be fun. Fun, maybe first 5. Maybe Bailey Ober if he's regressing. The Jays are tired of getting struck out. Maybe they get to him this time. Gossman's better at home, but the Twins are better at home. I mean, and this is like, I don't know, 2 or 3 consecutive road series for the Twins and they're finally back home. So I don't know if it's necessarily like a comfy home spot today for them. It could be a better spot for Gossman, even though he's better on the road and vice versa. But I just ended up leaning towards thinking I haven't bet it, but I might be on the over Ks and the under walks. I might just put them together.
Good
Might for
idea.
fun.
Yeah, totally fair.
But
Thank you.
25 Ks in 3 games, man. I know I'd be pissed.
It's a lot.
I'd be ready to see him again, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Cool. All right, last up, we've got Angel. What do you think? Blue Jays Twins. Sounds like we have a hell of a matchup.
Yeah, Blue Jays Twins, gonna be a good game. Blue Jays are kind of hot right now. They've won 6 of their last 7, so I think they're feeling kind of confident. But Bailey Ober's a pretty good pitcher. 4-1 on the season. Doesn't give up a lot of runs. 2 runs, 1 run in the last 3 games. So he might be the pitcher to cool the Blue Jays down. Not sure, but Lourdes Gurriel, I hope I'm saying that right, but he's on a 11-game hit streak right now for the Blue Jays, and Bo Bichette on a 9-game hit streak. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense why that team's hot right now. So I think those hit streaks I don't think they're going to come to an end today. I just feel like they can sneak a hit in against them, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. Lauer doesn't give up many runs. I mean, not in his last two outings at least. So 0 earned runs in his last 7 innings. So we're gonna see what happens. For Minnesota, they got a player Brooks Lee on an 8-game hit streak. So I like to follow these hit streaks now. But I might, parlay a few of these hitters together. I like those 3 today, getting a hit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love to get a hit parlays, and I literally just wrote a note about going to look at that after this is over
Got you.
and try and make some money. Cool. Thank you guys. I really appreciate all of the insight. It's been a great conversation. And now we are going to turn to my favorite segment, Lock It In. So this is where you guys get to share your picks with the audience, make everybody happy, everyone becomes a millionaire, and I love it. Let's see what you guys got for today, and I'm going to start with Joe.
All right, so for my best bets for lock it in, I got one UFC pick, two MLB picks. Let's start with the UFC pick. Merab Dvalishvili to win by decision. I'm actually an O'Malley fan. I'm being objective. That's what you have to do in this industry. So, as a fan, it'd be cool to see O'Malley win, but as a bettor, I'm liking the Merab Dvalishvili to win by decision. O'Malley showed that he could get to a decision while hurt. He'll get to a decision this time should he not knock out Merab. And Merab just shows that he wins decisions all the time. He knows how to win. It's just a perfect recipe for success. But you know what? Let me take this back a little. Let me backtrack a little. If you have access to the spread, that's even better value for Merab. If you could get Merab minus 5.5, and how the spread works in UFC is it's for the judges' scorecard. So if Merab wins 49-46 on all three judges' scorecard, that's a 9-point differential between those three cards. So he does cover that minus 5.5. And that's how he won it last time. I think he won it 50-45, which is even crazier. So it's not like Merab has to just, get some 10-8 rounds to cover that. He just has to win the majority of the rounds. And 4 or 5 rounds. Yeah, that'll cover it. So you could get the spread at plus 120, excellent value, plus money. That decision's looking like minus 160. And Merab said he's working on a finish. So should Sean O'Malley get finished mystically by Merab? Because I haven't seen a Merab finish yet in the UFC since I've been paying attention to him. You have yourself covered with that minus 5.5 spread, which would win and cash should Merab get the finish. So let's go over to the next best bet, 2 and 3, which is our MLB best bets. I'm actually liking this Diamondback Reds game to go over 9.5 runs. Arizona, like I said, they're putting runs on the board. They're averaging 8.25 runs per game in the last 4, and just put up 11 versus Atlanta. So, and they got Eduardo Rodriguez in a 7 ERA. So, like I said, I'm loving this recipe for points on the board. Best bet 2, Giants money line. I think you could get that at plus money still. They're definitely an underdog, slight underdog. 19-11 at home. Braves are on a 4-game losing streak. Give me that Giants money line with that value.
I like it.
Awesome. I am taking notes. Cool. Let's go over to Aaron. What are you telling people to lock in today?
I wanted to do UFC, but I don't. I'm just watching it, like I said. I'm kind of looking at the Orioles, man. I think it's a good Orioles spot tonight. The A's just scored like 97 runs last night, and uh, I like Baltimore, man. Dean Kremer, I know I gotta have faith in him, but I think with Baltimore just on a somewhat uptick, I guess, in general, I think it's a good spot to take Kremer and have faith in him. So I'm taking Baltimore. I'm just on the money line. It's minus 130, nothing crazy. And then might be a reach, but Kodai Senga's pitching for the Mets today, and he's never pitched at the Rockies. He's never pitched in Coors before, and typically your ball's not going to do the same thing over there. You got to account for all the mountains, altitude and whatnot. Breaking balls, especially, though. I wouldn't call him a breaking ball pitcher, but he's going to throw some, and you still got to figure your stuff out, whether he figures it out in the bullpen before the game, then that's, I guess, on me for picking it. But the Rockies team total is over 1.5 for the first 5 innings, and I felt like I think it was minus one. Yeah, I got it minus 111. I think it's a good spot. I I don't really like to fade the guy, but he hadn't had just straight great starts lately, and like I said, it's always weird when you're coming into the Rocky Stadium.
Yeah, great. I really appreciate the insight. I was actually looking at that one earlier, and altitude affects things. Rocky Stadium is an adjustment, so that's a really good line you found. Thank you. All right. Angel, wrap us up. What are
Let's
we
do
locking
it.
in?
Let's do it. I got a UFC bet and I got a MLB bet. So we'll go back to Kayla Harrison. I wanted to take her money line, but it just kind of seems too easy with the minus 750. But of course, it's not easy going against the champ, obviously. But I think, yeah, she's 18-1, 6 knockouts, 7 submissions. I think she's going to add another submission. I don't know how she's going to do it. I don't know if I wanted to take the finish by decision, knockout, or submission, but I think she's going to submit her. I don't know how, but I'm taking that submission for Harrison. And for my MLB bet, I'm going over 9 runs on the Yankees versus Red Sox game today. It's a pretty good rivalry. They got Walker Buehler on the mound, 4.4. Who we got going against Warren? Will Warren for the Yankees. He gave up 7 runs on his last start in 1 inning, 1.1 innings. So I'm thinking bats are going to be flying. Both pitchers struggling. The Red Sox got some bats. Yankees got Judge, of course. Dude, 3.392 batting average right now. Like, come on. So, yeah, those are my bets for today and tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, Angel. I kind of laughed inside when you said that Harrison was minus 750. You're like, we're not Conor McGregor, like minus 750. I'll throw
No, for
5
sure.
million on it.
It's her second fight or third fight in the UFC, so this is gonna be her toughest matchup of her whole career, I think. But I think she's gonna do something. So we'll see.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to watching the fights tomorrow, seeing how all these plays turned out tonight. That ends show number 3. Thank all of you for making the time, joining, sharing your insights, VIP picks, just personal thoughts, everything. It's all valuable information, and we're going to use that to make some money tonight and tomorrow. So thank you, and to everybody watching, thanks for joining, thanks for watching, and have a great weekend. I hope you make some money.
Hey, let's go.
Right.